Hey everybody, this is Rido and we're back to Day of the Tentacle Remastered. So I have checked and the few achievements left
It looks pretty clear in here now.
that
Say,
we'd have
did
to
you get the pen on our way out?
music
I found a
appreciation,
blanket blocking the
ringing the
chimney.
bell 100 times in the
Son, do you know
in
anything about
the
a
current
blanket?
timeline, the service bell.
Didn't the dude next to you have one earlier?
Music appreciation is turning on the music and leaving it on until you go back in
hey,
time to
catch you
yesterday. And the other things are playing Maniac Mansion on the computer and microwaving the what is it called? The hamster. And then the final thing is the Master Plumber. I still haven't sent 50 items back and forth. We've heard this commentary already. So, I need to give the patent to Red Edison.
Super battery, eh? Brilliant design. Sometimes
We should have done this a
amaze myself.
long time ago.
Now all I need is oil, vinegar, and some gold.
So, now we give the oil.
Ah, excellent. I need that for my super battery.
The vinegar and
Ah, excellent. I need that for my super battery.
finally the gold. There's no more achievements for interacting
Ah,
with
the
items.
final element for my ingenious battery. Stand back, boy. Give me room to work.
Again, the sound effects seem to sound different than the old audio. I have that nostalgia. Now, for most players new to this game,
A
you're just
miracle of
gonna
modern science.
wanna play
it
the
will look
remaster
lovely here on
with
the
the better
shelf until
graphics.
I take it with me to Baltimore.
but I think it's worth playing the second time with the old graphics.
Don't look now, but the British
Just
are coming, dude.
To get a feel of what games
Eh?
that were good
Where?
in the old days
Is
were
that
like.
supposed to be funny? I'm very busy.
Because this actually was good graphics in that day and age. This was the best computers could do. So I need the contract to go to Bernard. I don't think I have any more things for that to go to use that with. I don't think I have anything to do with that. So I'm just gonna send everything that I don't need to Bernard. Trying to get that Master Plumber ability. Again, I don't think the gun does anything.
I don't think I can put that in the Chronotron.
So we're sending everything back to him. The only thing I need to do left for right now is charge the battery and then prepare to mail the contract. So let's come over here. We've got the kite ready, we just needed the battery.
Ready for another brush with destiny?
Notice how he's spinning when
Sure,
he's
why
talking.
not?
Splendid.
And how short he is. Again, a time-sensitive thing here where I was
Now.
kind of difficult
Now.
push. But you have enough time to do it, even with the controller. It felt like you didn't, but you really do.
She's handling kind of funny.
There is
You got
one
it.
more
Just hang on
achievement.
there.
She's too heavy. I can't control her.
Hang on, Ben. Hang on.
I'm surprised there's no commentary here.
Run for your life!
commented.
How did we...
Now that was
Before.
interesting.
Yeah. Say, can I see that kite for a second?
No, I'm taking it back to my lab in Philly right now so I can study the results. Wish me luck.
That is part of the weirdness of the story. Is
I
everybody's
never got your name.
everybody
It's Hoagie,
here is
sir.
Nice working with you, Hoagie.
From a different
I promise
city,
to
and
name
yet
an
they're
invention
all
after
at this
you someday.
inn.
Gosh, thanks.
So we pick up the fully charged battery. And there's one more thing we can do. And it is, instead of using the battery on the plug like we did the first time, we take the battery and we use it in the toilet.
Flush my one chance of getting out of here? Yeah.
So that was the achievement there. Use that with the plug. And now his
Whoa.
Papa John is ready to go. It's kind of weird you never get to open the outhouses or do anything with them. But whatever. So now we're up to Bernard, and he's got a decent amount of stuff to do. I guess the fastest thing we could do is go up to fireplace, through the window, grab this rope, and then go out the window again. We then use the rope with the pulley, and we're down here. Again, the two achievements that are too annoying to do are the use the service bell 100 times and to go upstairs here and play on the computer. Everything else I've shown, you have to go upstairs one more and play on the computer. Not the computer in this room, but the computer in this room. And so we'll run back to Green Tentacles room to get the music appreciation achievement right before we use the phone to order it. To order the diamond, because I think ordering the diamond is close to the second to last thing here. Let's see, use the dangling rope with the dead cousin Ted. Now this time we're not bothering to ever turn off the pump that's pumping sludge in the back. So it doesn't really matter as far as I know. I just figure I'm not going to do it. And we've got all these other items. And one would hope we've gotten the master plumber at this point, because there's no reason particularly for me to send any more items anywhere, except for the contract. That's the only thing left. Pull this rope. And the bird bath played no part in the game. You'd think it would break apart and maybe turn into a collection of shards or something, but it's just gone. It's just completely gone. Now, I would say, compared to the original way with all the word verbs and everything, and the inventory always taking up the bottom section of the screen, the ability to go full screen and have an inventory system does improve even playing the old version. But I would be a little upset if the old version was completely missing and you could only play with the new graphics and the new audio. But I wouldn't be too upset if they said, you know what, we'll give you the old copy, the old files, and let you play them on ScumVM, but which is the virtual machine that runs Scum games, and this is the second Scum game again. Script creation utility for Maniac Mansion is what Scum stands for, and this is the sequel to Maniac Mansion. So I wouldn't be upset if they
Thought I
said
heard
just
something. Everything okay
you
in
can
there?
play the old game, but the new game is going to be its own separate engine, and
Well,
they're not
try and keep it
compatible.
down, okay?
But it is amazing that they've, on several of their games, had the ability to just, whenever you feel like it, hit this and go to the new, and then go right back to the old. Let's see, use the rope here with Dr. Fred. So you untie him, then you tie him up again. And then out the window we go.
I had worked on Monkey 2, and I had learned to animate on that project. It's like, you're an artist,
This
we need
sounds
an
new,
animator.
I think.
I'd never animated.
We didn't know how to animate?
No, I just, they gave us the Muybridge frame-by-frame book. The first thing I worked on was the dog with the keys in his mouth.
That's crazy. I remember you coming on as an animator. We should have checked up references.
No, that was the deal. The awesome artists like Peter and Steve were the ones that got to paint the backgrounds. And you know, the second tier people like me, you're animators. Didn't matter if you'd ever animated. So they gave me the Muybridge book, and it had walking horses and dogs and whatever. I'm like, all right, I'll go figure it out. And then did a few of those things on Monkey. And then at that point, then I'm like, of course I can do everything now. What am I, you know?
But see, that
awesome. I
was the
had
same
no
with me. I mean, I didn't have proper training either when I came on. And then, because I was just, you know, studied illustration, but I didn't come from a film or a game background. And so I didn't know anything about layout. But coming in, and then there's Steve Purcell in the room, right? And then I had no knowledge of comic book artists at the time either, you know? And so having all, like Ken Macklin and having these guys around, Ian McKeag would just walk in and out of there, and I was like in awe of these people. And I thought, oh
Yeah, I
my
talked
God.
to people about, like, that felt like grad school for me.
Yeah.
Because I had been thinking of going to grad school. And then I get this job, and like, I get paid to do it, and I get to learn from these guys.
Exactly.
That's great.
So, nice memory there. Not super informative. There's just no facts in them. In a lot of this commentary. It's
Nah,
just,
I'm not going to make that mistake again.
it's just a walk down memory lane, which is interesting, certainly, but not as much as I would like. Or maybe facts is the wrong term. Maybe it would be better to say there's not things that are generally more historically
Dr. Fred, are you
important.
okay?
Like they didn't talk about
Dr.
the
Fred?
number of units they've sold.
I'd
over
better
the
get him
years,
to the
how many-
lab.
how much it sold for, what stores.
Well, I
it
got
was
him in here, but he's out cold.
What the box originally looked like, things like that. We'll use the funnel with Dr. Fred, and we'll use the regular coffee with Dr. Fred.
Just noticed there's a face on that machine back there.
Oh, that is a special Chan thing. Faces on everything.
Oh, with the teeth on the bottom.
Faces on and the big red clown nose.
It's like Laverne eyes, one bigger than the other.
Is this the same audio cue as the purple tentacle?
Yes.
I remember
one sound file.
working on that animation for like 2 weeks.
Damn good coffee. Is that a Twin Peaks reference? Was Twin Peaks? Did we cover this before?
Twin Peaks. Yep.
Were we actively thinking about Twin Peaks when we wrote that, I wonder?
Probably. I remember we would go to Ron Gilbert's apartment and watch Twin Peaks
yeah.
at around this time.
That's true.
That's
the
a
only thing that
weird
bothered me was that
connection.
whole sequence was over. When we went back to the in-game animation, Dr. Fred moved up a pixel. Oh, that stuff drives me crazy. Oh, I'm gonna think about that tonight.
Can you fix that in a special edition?
He's a very satisfying hand wringing for just a few pixels.
They're still trying to fix the game decades later. Alright, so we need to get him to sign the contract. And if we remember, he doesn't
I got
want
the
to sign
contract for you to sign, Doctor.
Sorry, I don't like to sign things that I haven't read.
it. Well, forget it. I'll get rid of the purple tentacle myself.
Oh, forget it. I'll get rid of Purple Tentacle myself.
Oh, yeah? How?
Well, I guess I am going to start a petition.
I'm starting up a petition to ban all tentacles.
Wow! Where do I sign?
Right here.
Well, good luck.
So, that was the last item that we needed to send. We need to send it back. There's only a few items.
I don't think it's much use without a diamond.
Let's see. Like, I don't need the red paint. I don't need the funnel. I don't need the videotape.
That might mess up the tape.
I don't need the squeaky mouse. See, just trying to get the plumber ability. Scalpel back to him. And there's about 15, maybe 25 items. So you would have to have flushed everything twice. The only item I think I haven't flushed is the Switch Bank book. Which, okay. So I'll see if I need that. Send everything back to Hoagie. In his final act, he just needs to mail the item, and then Bernard needs to pick up the diamond after ordering it. And this isn't really fun of an achievement, is it? So these two won't go, this won't go, and this won't go. Watch. We'll try decaf even.
I don't think I can put that in the Chronojohn.
So we switch back here. Meanwhile,
What do you suppose happened to Hamilton and Madison?
Yes, I'm certain we told them to come on Thursday. I'll wager Madison's with that woman who bakes the cupcakes again, and Hamilton's probably gotten himself into another fight.
I bet they show up late and take all the credit for our work.
so if these are triggered, press A to play commentary.
How did...
Not press A. It lost the fact that I was using a controller. I bet I knocked my mouse accidentally. So if you get those cutscenes for every scene you change it to, every door you walk through, then there's probably set in such a way that you can't beat the game without seeing most, if not all of them. But we actually have missed
I don't
one
wanna.
in the future by playing so well. This with the mailbox. And then he automatically puts the flag up and does everything, and the Pony Express flies.
Yes, what do you want?
Hi there. Is this Dr. Fred Edison?
Who did you think you called? Dr. Spock?
So
Look,
again,
I
no
don't have all
commentary for
day.
a cutscene.
This is Farley
Most
Crockett,
of the
LucasArts
cutscenes
Games.
have
I just
them,
discovered your contract
but
among some
there's
very
a
old
couple where
files,
we
and,
just
well,
sit
our
here and
lawyers
have
say
to
that we
listen to.
have to pay you $2 million in back royalties. For the use of your family in the Maniac Mansion video game.
What?
This is Farley Crockett.
No, I heard that, you moron. When do I get my money?
Oh, right now. It's been credited to your Swiss bank account.
I think you probably would have a good legal argument to your own
Operator,
likenesses,
get me a travel agent.
even if you
This
didn't
is
have
an
a contract.
emergency.
Now, if you're a public figure, you lose some of that protection.
So, Dave, are you going to take credit?
But that's another commentary we've already done. If you're a private person and somebody uses your...
Just notice there's...
then you'll probably have a copyright to your own face and likeness and appearance. So if somebody made a game about you, there's a danger there. Now, of course, as long as there's ways to wiggle around that, certainly. So we need the diamond, and I think that puts us in the right place where we will just turn on the music and leave it on, and we'll have to put up with it for a little while. But I may not get the achievement anyways because I've already turned on the stereo once.
Wow, this is loud.
So we go out here, and it gets a little quieter. Let's see. And we use the phone as it is.
Couch Potato Shopping Channel, Wanda speaking.
I want to buy a diamond.
That will be $2 million. Do you have a major credit card?
I have an ATM card.
Click.
When I got it, it seemed so useful.
So we need to get the Swiss bank account back to him.
I don't wanna.
Swiss bank.
I don't wanna.
Give the Swiss bank account to Bernard. And if I haven't done the Master Flesh at this point, the Master Plumber, I'm never gonna do it. This is funny, the music stopped. Well, I'm not gonna go back
Couch
in.
Potato Shopping Channel,
start it
Wanda
again.
speaking.
The music started by itself. Interesting.
That will be $2 million. Do you have a major credit card?
I have a numbered Swiss bank account.
What's the number, sir?
It's 846-427-35327.
Very good, sir. We'll send the diamond by Pronto Post Lightspeed Delivery immediately. Thank you for calling.
Now that's service.
So we're gonna also get
better
into
get this to Dr. Fred right away.
a cutscene here, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to
That should do it.
in the recording.
Where did you
at the
get this
appropriate
diamond
time.
anyway?
It was donated by a group of Girl Scouts who were in the neighborhood.
I think we may just go long,
heartwarming.
really,
According
because
to my instruments, everything is in readiness. Your friends
It-
have
it may
activated their
only be
units, so
about
it's
10
time to
minutes.
throw the switch.
Great!
so getting to this point should have given us the music appreciation,
Hoagie!
but
I'm
we're
so
still
happy to-
missing the main two of
Hi! Laverne!
ringing the service bell
Wow.
100 times.
I'm so glad
and
you two made it
microwaving
back
the
okay.
hamster in
I hate
Maniac
to
Mansion.
interrupt, but there's no
We
time
may
to lose.
also be missing the
Back, we've
plumber
got to proceed with the original plan and send you back
achievement
to
to
yesterday to
send
turn
more
off the
items back and
Slap-O-Matic.
forth throughout through the menu.
Say
If
what?
that's the case,
Now hold on a minute, Dr.
that
Fred.
would-
They
it's
just
just too
barely
much
made it back to
work
our time alive,
to
and I think
get these, and they're not that fun of them.
You
If we
can't
got
turn
those
off
three
the machine
achievements, we'd
if I
automatically
there
get the
first.
OCD achievement that does everything else. It also is worth mentioning that
Don't worry,
all of
guys.
these achievements are secret achievements in
This time I
Steam,
know
so
I
you
can
wouldn't
stop
even
it.
know what you were supposed to do unless you looked up a guide, which is exactly what I did.
I guess we
You're
better
not
do
gonna
something.
accidentally wander onto
Let's
all
go.
No, wait! You can't all go in the same stall.
It's surprising there's not a commentary here.
Didn't you see the fly?
Really, really surprising. And again, the cutscene there didn't go full screen. Some of them just didn't, obviously.
We're
some kind of monster, dudes.
Great. Stuck here the rest of my life, listening to Bernard talking and watching Hoagie eat. Mom warned me there'd be days like this.
Now, wait just a minute. It's Green Tentacle. What was that, Green? What?
I believe he's trying to warn you about me.
Oh.
We're going to turn off the Sludge-O-Matic and defeat your evil plan, overgrown worm.
You sorry lot are no match for me.
But there's 3 of us. Well, sort of.
Nevertheless, I mean to crush you.
Yeah?
You and what army?
Why, this army, of course.
It's so silly that up to this point, the entire game had nothing to do with actually accomplishing the goal of stopping Purple Tentacle.
I've been bringing them back here using the
We just
chronogen.
were wasting our
Together,
time,
we
basically,
will conquer
because
the
of a
world.
mistake.
You 10 there.
Silliness.
Go to the basement.
The fact that he
and
says
guard the
you 10
Sludge-O-Matic.
there is not the biggest hint. What's interesting, only 4 people showed up on screen, and
No one is to touch the Sludge-O-Matic.
it seems like at any one point on the
Now,
screen
creature,
there's only
I must decide what
9
excruciating
entities,
tortures to
which I think
leave
is right.
them to me.
I think
I've
that may
been
be the
itching for a
maximum
chance
the
to
engine
test
could
out
have done
my
at that
newly
point.
completed Diminuator.
Uh-oh.
Excuse me. Us.
We never even saw the cutscenes that talked about the Diminuator in the future. We got through that section so fast.
All right, the rest of you come with me. Next stop, the world.
What do we do now?
Whoa.
It wears off.
Aha!
Run for it!
Ding. And we're still just in a cutscene.
Damn. The battery must not have had time to recharge, but it will.
So we run in here, and it's another
Maybe he won't
cutscene.
find us.
You, where are you, human?
So it's important that they ran into this room because that was the only way he could have been ahead of us. And it's necessary that he's ahead of us because they don't want it to give us the ability to just walk into the tentacle.
Aha!
Uh-oh.
Take that. And this. Drat. Perhaps if I readjust the static phrase dynamo again.
So if I try to open this door,
Aha!
Uh-oh.
Take
he'll just
that.
shoot.
Drat.
Well, I can't open this door.
We're too little.
Blasted useless paper. Aha!
It's just a little bit of
Uh-oh.
timing.
Take that.
So I guess
And
it's
this.
important to notice that
Drat.
he's hitting him right in the forehead. He should just say that though. He should
There,
say
I
like
think I've
right in the
almost got
forehead.
it working.
every time he shoots somebody.
That was really disturbing when he shot himself and then.
And see, it's the same commentary even throughout that.
Metal Mel. Who is Metal Mel, Peter? Metal Mel. I don't know. Metal Mel. You predicted all the heavy metal stuff we do in games later.
So we get the bowling ball, and I guess we could turn the music back on.
Wow, this is loud.
Might as well.
Hey, where'd he go?
So I've done as much as I'm willing to do. As far as achievements, and we're almost done with the game. We've got just a couple more things to do.
Just notice there's a face.
It's the same commentary again. All we have is the bowling ball. All the other items are missing. Will we get any commentary here? Because this is really animated. Well, you'd think they'd talk about it. But they don't.
Great!
Just notice.
Turn off the machine and prevent
Like,
all this tentacle
nothing
mayhem from ever happening.
No conversation there. So now we just automatically turn off the sludge-o-matic for the first
that's
time.
over with.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
We just gotta talk to
Leaving
this
so
guy.
soon? We haven't had the chance to get to know one another. Your efforts are so tiny.
Eek!
He's switching places. Now he's switching the switch, and then we're running around to switch places again. That's weird.
Run all you like, you insignificant
Why didn't he
insect.
just shoot them before he hit the dial? Why not just say, "Don't touch that lever"? So now we just gotta
You
talk to him.
can't stop me.
Just what is it you have against humans anyway?
Humans are our oppressors. They made us live in this horrible motel.
Now I
They
imagine I
created
could
us
have
in
gotten to the
ungainly
same
forms,
direction,
so we could not
even if I
rise
had
against
answered
them. Try
differently.
walking around with your legs tied together.
But I
and
just
keep
wanted to
on
do
your
the right-
shoes. You'll see what I mean.
Do the right selections.
Sounds like that's all Dr. Fred's fault, really.
I suppose you're right about that. I didn't start out hating all humans, just Dr. Fred.
Just blame Dr. Fred.
You're pretty handy with that ray gun.
Center of the forehead every time. Would you like a demonstration?
Yes, hit Dr. Fred.
Why don't you zap Dr. Fred if you hate him so much?
Perhaps that would be entertaining.
And see, I could see people thinking shrinking him would loosen the rope so he would get free, but it's really the reflector that was the solution.
Surely we can talk this out.
There should have been an instance where we used it before in the game, or we saw it used.
Surely.
But nope, and it still works fine. We figured it out.
You haven't heard the last of me. I'll be back, and the next time, the world and all its piffling inhabitants shall
Tiny
be
little
mine.
pixel
All mine.
picture here. I mean, that looks like 32 by 32 pixels at most.
All
They
mine.
all three licked that
Okay, little
envelope.
fella.
Gross.
Mail this to Siberia.
And we turn off the sludge a second time, and they all start disappearing. And everything's back to normal. Pure, clean water.
Our work here is done.
Just notice the.
Can go home.
And the commentary is the same again. Let's see if we hear any commentary in the epilogue.
Well, kiddies, it's been more fun than a jumpsuit full of weasels. Now, kindly get your freakish hide out of my home.
This is one of the few games
Please,
in a long
Dr.
time
Fred, you've
that's
got to
made
get
me
us out of
laugh
this
out
mess.
loud.
We look terrible,
I
and we
very
can't
much
buy clothes
enjoy
off the
this
rack.
Looney Tune comedy. I wish so
I'm
many
getting
games
sort of
had
used to it.
tried
Maybe we
it
could
and
go on the
adopted
talk
it.
show circuit.
Instead of always being so serious. We don't need everything
Help us,
to be
Dr.
so
Edison.
serious. In
You're
video
our
games.
only hope.
There's a Star Wars
all
reference.
right.
It's kind of weird.
So I didn't have enough pixels to actually show, like, there's
That's
way
the
too much.
genius of the screen.
There's way too much hoagie. Like, if you look at that X-ray, basically Bernard is piggybacking on Laverne. You can see Bernard's feet.
Oh, those are Laverne's feet.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
But Hoagie is just like rib cage and nothing else. There's no room for it.
Look how involved this scene is. Like, there's all these different gags for how they all get. Like, it takes. It's all.
That's your reward for
How many
finishing this
days did it
entire
take
game.
to do that animation?
That was the funnest one.
Look how evil Laverne is.
I think because that had a lot of visual gags that were easy to do. Like the X-ray thing is a drawing, and then the stretching the shirt and snapping it, the action's quick. Like the drawings that it took to do the stretch was nothing. I think it's her regular walk cycle, maybe just tweaked. And then you let it go and shoots off screen in like 1 or 2 frames.
But that was fun. I often refer to it as the last fun time I had making a game, just because we didn't have 3D and we didn't have to worry about voice during. We didn't have to lock our scripts early, so we could do localization and translation. So it felt easier.
And see,
we had a
something
brief
that can
crunch
be
mode because we'd be like, oh, the
said
dialogue
about
has to be done.
that too. I'll wait
and
till
you and
the
I stayed there
end.
to do that. I don't remember the team really having a crunch mode like we did on Monkey 2 or anything. Like Monkey 2 was like a really.
And you look at like Throttle, we thought we're going to make this crazy huge animated thing, and we had like 1 more animator than we had on this, and that got really bad at the end.
Games were
Whereas this, there was no way to.
Like that.
Didn't have enough rope to hang ourselves.
I did love that ability to write all the way up to the very
we changed Monkey Island dialogue like the day before we shipped. I feel like, which is crazy. Of course, everyone's happier now that we're locking that earlier.
And the scum system, like I feel like we touched on that briefly earlier. We didn't really say much about it. It was like great to work in because it was like you just had a little puppet theater. And all the things that you wanted to do to make drama were really easy. Like, have the characters walk around and play animations and say lines, and you didn't have to do any programming really behind any of that. It was all just one line to make any of those things happen. So you could just focus on, let's make a cool thing with all these little assets that we've got.
So, like, Full Throttle, they were going to make a sequel to, they never did. Then their final nail in the coffin for 2D point-and-click adventure games was Grim Fandango, because that was a 3D potential point-and-click game. And I really wish Tim Schafer could get back to having fun making video games, because frankly, he's now the boss of Double Fine, and a lot of the games that get made by Double Fine aren't that fun, and he's probably just in the wrong position. A lot of video game creators made the mistake in some ways, and in some ways it's not a mistake, of becoming the boss of the company. And there's a difference between owning the company and making sure you're not going to be taken over by an EA or Ubisoft, and then becoming the boss and having to deal with all the hiring and firing management and the press releases and all of that. If Tim Schafer just was having fun making games, I think he probably would be able to make a lot more games and better games for Double Fine. That being said, it hasn't changed a lot. A lot of time has happened. He's changed a lot. When you go look at Broken Age, it's an attempt to do something like Day of the Tentacle with like comedy that doesn't work, comedy that's a lot more self-censored and sensitive. Where Looney Tunes cartoons are almost notorious for being a sign of their times, whether there's racism or sexism or whatever in the really, really old Looney Tunes, they were willing to go a lot further for a joke than what they are willing to do now. Everything now is hypersensitive. Everything now wants to be realistic. Even Broken Age, which was a ridiculous story, still wanted to try to play it as a realistic game, and that just didn't work that well. But the remaster works very well. So we can go back to the bonus, and there's no new concept art. It was all unlocked the first time we played through. And we have now seen the game with the developer's commentary, both in the original art and the original sound and FX, the classic everything, and this. The only thing we didn't really do is we didn't play with the bar verbs, which would have taken up some of the screen. There's some missing features here. Just going full screen is a little weird. I suppose we could have changed the text and the audio to, let's see, how many different spoken languages was it made in? Just English and German. That's an interesting choice there. And then I like that the volume is music and sound effects and voice all split together. Generally, it's a little bit helpful to have a master volume on top of that, but it's not a big deal. And let's watch the credits of the remaster now with the thing. I really wish there was somebody out there that was still making games like this. Doesn't have to be Double Fine. Double Fine could go and do its own thing. They've certainly tried other things, and some of the other things they've done are definitely interesting. Let's see. Can I remember the name of their biggest failure / success? Was it? There's one where you play as a rock star in a rock and roll style world that's really good, but has a terrible strategy gameplay style to it. It would have been a perfect game as an adventure or an RPG, which it has those elements, but then they added some stage battles or what they're called to it, and it messes it up. And that's, what's it called? Yeah, I can't remember. I cannot remember the name of the game. They've also made Costume Quest. That kind of worked. They made The Cave, but then that's licensed by Sega, so oddly, if you buy the bundle on Steam to get all of the Double Fine games, you actually don't get that. Here we have Disney Interactive playing a part in here, so this is past the point when LucasArts was bought by Disney, and so it may very well have been partially because Lucasfilms and LucasArts Entertainment was sold to Disney that they were able to get the rights back and do this remaster. In fact, Tim Schafer specifically went on Twitter and said, "I would love to buy those things back." Here we have a very special thanks to George Lucas, and he really didn't play that much of a part. He was the guy who ran LucasArts and helped the game get created in the first place, and he's the guy that made Star Wars, and that let them do the Star Wars thing. Seems like doing German language and then only text translations for the rest. I wonder if there was laws in Germany that say if you're going to release a game in Germany, it has to be spoken German. I don't know if that's true or not. That's the only reason why I would think you'd make a European market version of the game and then only voice it in German and nothing else. None of these names look that interesting. This font is pretty awful. Just to be honest, it's a bad choice on a font for the credits. But burping, crying, and soiling, I guess those are babies. But you've got a lot of people here listed for product support, managers, product support. Anybody who ever worked on the game getting credited. I'm cool with that, but it seems very strange in video games to like, here's the intern. I mean, here's the warehouse manager. The warehouse manager is getting listed? And then special thanks to another group of people. Further thanks to Linda and Chuck Jones. And then Sam and Max's courtesy of Steve Purcell. It'd be nice if he made a new Sam and Max series of games. That's all Telltale owns the rights to that. And that would be interesting to see too. But I'd be happy if anybody did anything like this. So, There's still a couple of achievements if I was going to be OCD and try and get them, but I'm not going to, and we're done with the series. We've gone a little long in this recording, but that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me even further, you can go to my main YouTube channel. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. You can click that, make a donation. Also, on my main YouTube channel, there's a playlist tab where you can find a playlist for all the other games I've ever covered. Go check out Broken Age. Go check out some of the Sam & Max series. There's lots of point-and-click adventure games I've covered of different times. There's lots of Telltale games which are kind of evolutions or a different take on point-and-click adventures because they take out most of the pointing and clicking and just go for the dialogue choices, which this is a game that had almost no dialogue puzzles at all. The very last one is a dialogue choice puzzle, and there's nothing else really before that. Except for maybe convincing George Washington to chop down the cherry tree. That might be another one. And then finally, down below in the description, I have links to all my social media sites, such as Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, and Battle.net. Please follow and friend me on all of those services. That helps me with those services, and it lets you know when my next video is available for viewing. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a good evening. Bye.